What happens when you trust your $500,000 grip van to 2 camera ops on a 1,200-mile road trip? So this whole thing started when my friend Zay reached out to me and he wanted me to DP this project for him in Chicago. After learning more about it, I was really excited because these were going to be very impactful stories. I was going to have a lot of creative freedom. Usually I'm working under a lot of NDAs. There was no such thing on this project. So it was really exciting. And initially I started working with him. We had a lot of unknowns, so started compiling a list of equipment we wanted to rent and have access to. Once we saw how much this rental equipment was going to cost, and that was before any insurance charges, plus we were walking into an unknown situation, so we weren't even sure if this gear was going to be enough. That's when we started having the discussion that in an ideal world, we'd rather have my van there. Not only would we be familiar with the gear, we would be prepared for all kinds of situations. So that's when it came down to figuring out the logistics and how we were going to make this happen. I immediately called Mario and Jaret and asked them if they were open to expanding their roles, maybe put some extra money in their pocket and be willing to drive the van to Chicago and back. Surprisingly, they both agreed. So preparation started a day before. They were supposed to leave. Mario came over. We pulled out all the cards, did inventory. I didn't want anything going missing. We made sure everything was packaged properly, secured properly. Once the van was ready, I really wanted to take advantage of this time and make sure Mario gets to practice driving the van. Even though it's not hard to drive, it's actually very easy. It is very important to understand that this is a very long and heavy vehicle. So understanding your braking distance and your turning radius is the important part. So after Mario got a lot of miles in and I sat right beside him in the passenger seat, I felt way more comfortable the next day that he was ready to take the van on this long road trip. All right, Mario, you're leaving. So you're driving the production van from Orlando
to Chicago.
Yeah, are you excited?
I'm excited.
It's going to be a long drive.
A long drive, but I think it's going to be... I take it like a road trip, so I'm excited, yeah.
Awesome. So I handed Mario the keys and he was on his way. I would be lying if I said I wasn't scared. Not because I don't trust him or Jaret. I really trust those guys. We work together a lot. It's just because I've spent the last decade building all this gear over, hundreds of thousands of dollars of gear. And last thing I want is anything to happen. Plus, the biggest thing that I really pride myself in is if I commit to do something, I want to do it, right? But if this van didn't make it, we weren't going to be able to do this project, and that would be my reputation on the line because we literally had everything in there. The only thing that we had externally was the Burano that I was flying with. Outside of that, from lenses to lighting to camera, everything was in that van. So I wanted to make sure that it makes it there safely. Even though I'm used to driving long distances with the van to Miami, to Atlanta, I decided not to drive the van to Chicago simply because this project was relying on me too much. I was supposed to manage the crew, be the DP, manage all the equipment, be responsible for sound, lighting, and lots of other things. And last thing I wanted to do was show up on set tired.
Why taking a whole van from Orlando to Chicago? I mean, it's just too much hours. But I think for everybody watching the video, to understand all the advantages of taking this van, especially this van. I mean, this van is at least $500,000 of equipment. So just imagine that all that we have there. I think that's a lot better for any project than just renting locally.
Even though Mario and Jaret were constantly updating me about where they were, how the trip was going, it was really nice to have an alternate way of tracking them because the van is littered with Apple AirTags. So that was really cool to be able to see where they've been and where they are. It kind of gave me another peace of mind. I was really worried about Jaret driving the van just because, unlike Mario, he never had the opportunity to practice. So they were going to do that mid-road trip and I wasn't going to be there.
What's up? Jaret is ready. Hey guys, we are Jefferson. Jefferson. Look.
It was so good to see Mario and Jaret in Chicago. I was so relieved they were okay. The van was okay. They didn't encounter any crazy situations, and the gear made there safely. And to be honest, the equipment and the van there was such a help. It made our job there so much easier. I'll be making more vlogs, so I can't wait to share how the 3 days went there. It was amazing. The return was a lot easier for me. I felt way more confident in their ability to make it back safely. I made it back the night before, so it's so good to see when Mario made it back and he was pulling the van in after having dropped Jaret off. Everything again looked good. He was good. They were both safe. No equipment damage. Nothing moved. So that was exciting.
You made it. How are you doing? You must be tired all night.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Dude,
How are you? Finally.
good to see you.
All in all, they drove over 2,400 miles on this trip back and forth.
This trip was tiring. I mean, from Orlando to Chicago, it's a lot of hours. But also, it was a lot of fun. The project itself was amazing. The shots, the lighting, all the setup that we got to do was amazing quality. Like was Netflix quality for sure. And I would do it again for sure. Yeah, I had a lot of fun at the end.
It makes me happy to hear that Mario had fun on this project. I wish we could hear from Jaret. Hold on, I have an idea. Jaret!
I didn't really know what to expect at first, like, because this is my first time driving it. Mario already had some practice. So he drove for a little bit, and then I got to do some practice. And it was actually much easier than I thought. The parking. I think the parking was the only thing. Other than that, it just felt like a regular car with a little bit more headroom and no rear view mirror up top. Whenever we hire grip trucks, sometimes like it's different because you don't know what they have or who's on board to build it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Having that peace of mind that we know what's on the truck and where it's located on the truck and how to build it. That was such a ease of mind knowing that was there. You know, I really like that aspect.
Total.
I would rent it out again, drive it again to another state. Absolutely.
Thanks. I appreciate you, bro, for not wrecking my van. And I'll talk to you later, all right? Having done this, I'm a lot more confident and excited about the future. The possibilities are endless. Where all can we take this van and what all can we accomplish throughout the country? So I'm really excited for the future and being able to take the van in lots of places. Would I do this again? Absolutely. But maybe I'll drive next time.